Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here with Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm here today with day 2 of our traditional labels bundle combined with the Christmas Tags and More designer series paper, the traditional sequin gems, and the red satin ribbon. I'm showing you how to create 4 beautiful but simple cards using these products. And if you would like to get the class to go, there will be a link in the description that you can click on, and you can get cardstock cut and ready to go for 8 cards. You get a half a pack of the DSP, a full roll of the ribbon, and a full pack of the traditional sparkling sequins. Okay, so more about that in a minute. I'm glad you're here. When you pop in, say hello, let me know you're here, chat with me. That always makes this so much fun for all of us. Okay, so let's go over some quick things that are coming up on the horizon. If you are not a part of my email list, you should be, because that's where I send it out a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a week. Tuesdays, I always send out a newsletter updating you on all the things that are going on. And then later in the week, I just send out reminders of registrations that are getting ready to close that I want to make sure you don't miss out on. Okay, so join my email list. I will put a link to that in the description as well. Now, we have found out that there is a server, and I forget the name of it, but it is wreaking havoc on links through Facebook right now, on a lot of links through businesses as well. This is a server that usually filters out the bots and makes sure that the only things coming through on your registrations and your links are real people. Well, that is down right now. So sometimes, well, what happened last night is that people were clicking on my links in the description, but they were getting an error message. And I found out this morning it's because that server, which I didn't even know about, is down right now, but they're trying to get it fixed. So if you are getting an error message when you click on my registration links, it's in the process of getting fixed. So just keep trying, or you can PM me and I'll send you a direct link to whatever you were interested in looking at. Okay. All right. So my last big Christmas push will be on December the 13th. It's a double class, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And you're like, oh, I live in Michigan, I can't do it. Well, you can, because you can also get both classes to go in the mail. Okay, so both these classes that I'm getting ready to talk about that are going to be a part of my Super Saturday on December the 13th, you can also get it to go with a full color PDF of all the instructions. Okay, so let's take a look at the 2 classes that are in this. The first one is Festive Friends Bundle class. This is that cute little set that has the tag, the trees, snowflakes, Santa, elf, snowman, all the things. This will be a 5 project class, 4 cards and 1 little 3D project. It will be in the morning if you're coming in person at 10 a.m., or you can get it to go as well. And it's free with a $35 purchase in my store. All right. The second class is in the afternoon, and it's the Homemade Treats bundle, which is the bundle shown in the picture right there. And if you come in person, you can also get a box of cookies added on. That the Cookie Encounter, my friend Heather too, here in Midland, is the premier cookie decorator, and she is cultivating a box for this class that will have 6 cookies, a couple of bags of frosting, and some sprinkles inside. So you can go home and make cookies after you have made your homemade treat cards. So I think that's a little fun idea. I'm excited about that. So this is in the afternoon on December the 13th from 2 to 4. But you can also get it to go, but obviously I can't send you the box of cookies in the mail. I'm sorry, I can't do that. So just make sure all the choices are there in the registration, class only. I'm coming in person, class with cookies, right? So take a look at that registration. Hopefully, those links will work today, or PM me and I'll send you the direct links through a message. Okay. Next, we have a Black Friday sale coming up on November the 25th through December the 1st after Thanksgiving. Stampin' Up! Is going to offer a lot of products and some of them up to 40% off. We don't know yet what those products will be, but I'm sure they will be awesome and worth at least logging in to my Tuttle Up shop and taking a look at those, okay? And last but not least, they're offering a Cyber Monday sale for December 1st through December 9th, and this is a paper pumpkin sale. Huge savings on 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month subscriptions of Paper Pumpkin. I have heard that if you already have a Paper Pumpkin subscription, you can put it on pause to get this deal and then reenact it afterwards, okay? But I'll find out more about that. So if you have questions about that, let me know. Okay, so let's tuttle up and let's start stamping here. I'm going to my hands. These are the products we're using on our cards this week. This real red satin ribbon. If you get this class to go, you'll get a whole roll of that. You'll get a whole package of the traditional sparkling sequins. These are my favorite. So sparkly. They're kind of flat too, which is nice for, for sending in the mail. You will get a half a pack of this Christmas Tags and More ephemera and DSP, a half a pack. So normally there are 8 pages of like this plaid paper here. You will get 4, and then the back sides all have prints. So you get 4 of each of these patterns. Fun prints on the back. I love that wreath there. Again, great print on the back. These are tags that you can cut out as individual tags. And you guys have seen me do that already. You'll get 4 sheets of that, and the back side is that awesome green gingham check. Okay, so that's the DSP. You'll get a half a pack of DSP, a full pack of embellishments, a full roll of ribbon, and all the cardstock you need cut and ready to go for the cards that I'm making this week. Okay. You will need the traditional labels bundle in order to complete the cards the way we have designed them. And this is an awesome bundle. Look at these awesome labels. They all perfectly fit these words that are in the stamp set. If you don't have this yet, in the link to register for this class to go, I offer this at a discount, and you don't have to pay. Basically, you don't have to pay tax and shipping. I'm only charging you for the price of the bundle without tax and shipping added in. So all of this can get mailed to your home, complete with everything for 8 cards and all the product for $49. And that includes priority shipping. Okay, so think about getting this class to go this week. I want to show you real quick our cards from yesterday before I start our cards today. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here. I hope you feel better soon. Brenda's been sick with what we think is the flu, right, Brenda? It's awful. And I think my husband might have it as well. So what a mess. The people at Brenda works with my husband, so I'm sure there are some things going around. Okay, so here's one of the cards I made yesterday. So simple and pretty, right? And this was the other one, just using that ephemera and some special details, that beautiful red satin ribbon, and this was the inside of that card. Okay, oh, I'm seeing the glitching happening. I hope that doesn't last throughout the whole video here. Okay, so these are the 2 cards we are making today. Sending Love and Joy is using that, that beautiful red satin ribbon. And this was the inside of that card. Okay, ornament piece of the designer series paper. I love the plaid peeking through the background. And then this is the inside of that card. And then this is a belly band that slides off, and a horizontal gatefold card. So pretty, so simple, you guys. You're not even going to believe how simple these are. So let's get this going. And you're going to get an assortment of ephemera, and you might have to switch some things out from what I did, depending on how much you get in your package. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that today as well, how you can do that. Okay, so we're going to start with this one with the ornaments. It has the crumb cake card base. So let me pull out my pieces. You can see I've already cut some extras for the people who might want to get this class to go. So I have it all ready to go. Here's my crumb cake card base. Here's my white panel for the inside of the card. And my plaid 2" by 5.5" plaid piece. My ornament panel there. And this label right here. That's all I need for this card. Okay, let me put these other pieces away so they're good to go. All right. So I'm going to take my bone folder. This is just a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. Scored at 4 1/4, and I'm just going to bone fold that down there. I'm going to go ahead and start with the inside of my card. I have a 1/2" strip of that plaid paper and a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white. This is going to go on the inside. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this little strip to the edge real quick before I stamp, because if you stamp it in the center, it might look off once you get this strip on it. So I'm going to put the strip on first. Okay. There we go. And this is going to go on the inside of the card. Oh, nope. I'm going to stamp it first. I'm grabbing my garden green ink. And I'm going to stamp Christmas. In garden green. Isn't that font really pretty? I love the font on that. And then Mary is going to go right above it. And I'm kind of fitting it in around the Christmas right there. Merry Christmas. I love the font on that one. It's so, so pretty. Okay. So now this can go on the inside of our card, right like this. And I'm going to use Seal Plus for this. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to do the outside. I have this plaid piece of the designer series paper, probably one of my favorite pieces of the bunch. And this is going to go right along the edge here, right next to that score line, very close to it. Okay. There we go. This panel is going to go on top, but I'm going to pop it up with some dimensionals, and I'm going to use an exorbitant amount of dimensionals because DSP is a little more flimsy than cardstock, right? So I just want to make sure this pops up really nicely and it doesn't sag or, you know. Maybe I'll even do 2 more on this edge here and this edge here. Does that look like an absorbent amount of dimensionals? Sometimes you have to, right? All right, so I'm just going to peel my wax paper off here. It's going to popped up right there. Okay. Next, I'm going to grab some ribbon. Remember, the whole idea of this whole class this week is easy peasy cards, right? And this set of products that we are including in this product-based class this week are perfect, and you can just keep this party going. Just use different panels, use different DSPs, right? It's all about, and all I'm doing is taking this ribbon, tying it in a knot. That's all I've done. And you can just keep going on using all that ephemera and all the fun stuff, right? I'm going to add a glue dot to the back of this knot. And it's going to go right here on top of that ornament, right like that. I might cut this side down just a little bit more. There we go. All right. Now I have cut one of the labels from the Traditional Labels dies here, okay? And I'm going to stamp inside this, sending love and joy. And I love how they designed this so that this fits perfectly inside this label right here, okay? So again, for this one, I am using Garden Green. And I'm going to set it up so that it all fits nicely. Ah, I just kind of blew it there. Let's see what happens. We're going to get another one. Sorry, guys. I dropped it and it messed up on me. Okay, let's try this again. And I don't want to flip it over. I know some people are like, just flip it over. But look, there's some awesome detail to this ribbon thingy. So let's try this again. I'm wondering if using a foam mat would be helpful. Let's grab it. Probably a good idea with photopolymer stamps anyway. Okay. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. Much prettier. All right. This is going to get popped up on the front of this card here. You know what? This class also would be really good for youngsters if you're doing a club or something for kids, because they're so nice and easy to put together. And like I said yesterday, sometimes we want over-the-top cards, and sometimes we just need to get them done at Christmas and throw some easy-peasy ones in the mix, right? Okay, so this is going to get attached right here in the center of that ornament at the bottom. And I'm going to throw on some of my beautiful sequin dots here, scatter them on the front, and here's my take your pick tool. Here it is. So what I did is I put a large green one right here. I put a medium-sized red one right in here, and then a small green one right down here. That is the outside, okay? And then for the inside, I even put a couple here. I used a large red one right next to my Mary right there, and then a medium and a small green one down here. Okay, so that is card number one. What do you guys think about that one? See, it's so pretty and so simple, right? I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. I sometimes we need easy, right? Okay. So that is our first card for today. And then let's do our second card. This is our second card. It has a belly band on it that slides off, and then it opens up and opens up. And isn't that pretty inside? That is wow without being hard, which I enjoy doing. So here we go. I'm grabbing my pieces over here. I need this red panel. This is 1 inch by 10 inches for a belly band. I need my garden green cardstock. I need my panel for the inside. I need my white for the inside. It felt like two things going on there. My label for the outside. My DSP panels. That is that wreath panel, but we've cut it into 2-inch strips. And what I did is I cut it into 4 inches, and then that way I got a good image of that wreath, and then I cut it down the middle at 2 inches. Okay. And then what else do I need? Maybe a little scrap of white. Okay. So let's start with the inside. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 2 1/8 from either end. So I scored it at 2 1/8, and then I turned it and scored it at 2 1/8 again. That's easier for me than trying to figure out what 8.5 minus 2 1/8 is. Although it's probably 6 1/8 now that I think about it. The math teacher and me just did that in my head. But 2 1/8 from either end, okay? And I'm going to use my bone folder to get a good crease on that. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the inside first. So I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 4 by 5 1/4, and it's going to go on the inside. Now you could use that plaid if you wanted. I thought it was a little busy for this card, so I'm using this more subtle print on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to grab that Sending You Love and Joy again. I'm going to clean it off. And on the inside, I'm going to stamp this in real red. Okay. Whoop. Right like that. Beautiful. This is going to get attached to the inside here with a nice little border all the way around it. There we go. And then I'm going to grab that ephemera over here, and I am using, I don't know, you could use any of these little images, these leafy images, or even, the bell would be pretty too. Why don't we use the bell this time on this one? Just trying to show you, you don't have to always use the same ephemera I did, okay? So the ephemera that I used on the inside of this one was one that looked like that at the bottom, okay? So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to add some dimensionals here to the back of this, just to give it a little pop on the inside. So a fun thing today is that as demonstrators or team members, we're allowed to start pre-ordering from the spring mini catalog. I'm just going to give you a heads up on the things I like the most. There's a new floral suite that I think is gorgeous. It has bright colors, which you guys know me, I love bright colors, and some awesome dies. It is a super suite, which means it has 2 stamp set bundles that coordinate with it. some ephemera, some beautiful embellishments. I'm losing the name of it. Maybe you can find it for me, Brenda. It's love. It has the word lovely in it. And then there is a super cute suite. So there we go. Look, just put those two panels that I cut of that wreath so it looks like a bow over here, right? And then it opens like this. Okay. And then the second suite that I love is called Cute as a Bug. And it has cute little bugs. It has mushrooms and flowers, all kinds of fun things. So I'm taking my belly band here and wrapping it around the card front. And you don't want to wrap it too tight or else you'll struggle to get it off the card. Okay. So I'm not worried about where the seam overlaps right here because my label is going to cover that up. Okay. So I'm going to just attach it like that. Okay. Then I'm grabbing my red satin ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around my belly band here. And I decided that I wanted to, this is totally optional, but I didn't want my ribbon to come off. I envisioned me trying to pull off the belly band and then the ribbon coming off with it. So I'm adding just a little bit of Seal Plus right here to kind of hold that ribbon into place where I want it, okay? Right like that. And then we're going to tie this up here at the top in a bow. Lovely blossom suite. Thank you, Brenda. So that is one of the suites that I love from the new mini. I feel like I've got a little too much length here. So let me pull it a little bit this way and reattach that right there. Lovely blossom suite, and the dies for the flowers are amazing. I think they can be layered up and they're just so pretty. And then there's some great labels and detailed dies, some ephemera that is gold that goes with it, some ribbon that is white and gold both, and it's just gorgeous. Okay, the other one I was telling you about as I tie my bow here is called Cute as a Bug. And what I love about it, I mean, the paper's adorable, really. The dies of mushrooms and flowers, and you get dies for all the little bugs, and you can cut them out of the designer series paper as well. There we go. Trying to shorten my loops here a little bit. There we go. All right, like that. Okay, so this is gonna, but what I love about it the most, you guys, is they have the most adorable ladybug epoxy stickers that are so cute. Okay, so now I have my label here that I've pre-cut that's gonna go right here on over my belly band, right like that. Okay, and right kind of in the arch of where this wreath is. And I chose the Christmas tree, but you guys, you could use a lot of things here. Like, for instance, you could use this ornament, right? And it could look like it's hanging from the bow. You could use that. You could use the bells again. There's several ornaments here that would be beautiful. So be creative. Use whatever ephemera and stuff that you like. There is no set laws on any of this, okay? So I'm going to add my Christmas tree to the front of this label here. So anyway, I think the bugs, I know it sounds weird, but they are so cute. So cute. Cute little caterpillars and butterflies and ladybugs, and It's just adorable. Mushrooms. It's really, really cute. And cute mushrooms, like colorful mushrooms. All right, there we go. Now, the only other things I need to do is stamp my Mary. And I'm stamping it in real red ink. There we go, Mary. And I am going to fussy cut this. And I'm just going to kind of follow the angle of the M and follow the angle of the Y. And then arch around the bottom, just like the word is arched, keeping the same distance from the word. And then doing the same thing up here at the top. It's super easy peasy. Okay, then this is going to get popped up right under our tree right here. I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I'm going to use minis for this. Here we go. Okay, cute. And then just scatter on some gems. And for this one, I decided to use the gold. You could use whatever color you want. Do you get the gist of this? This is a fun way for you to mix and match what I'm doing and create things to make your own. Okay? Now, so that I make sure that I get this label on just on the belly band and not on the card behind it, okay, I'm going to grab my dimensionals and I'm going to make sure I set them only on the belly band, okay, not off of it, or else it'll stick to the card and you won't be able to get that belly band off, okay? And so I'm just putting 4 right like this, okay, and peeling off my wax papers here. So this will be it for me this week. I usually come on Wednesday, but I've done all the cards for this week's class to go. You know, sometimes as demonstrators and people who are doing Facebook Lives, we also need to hit the easy button, right? So how pretty is that? Isn't that lovely? And then it opens like this, and this, and this. There's not a person in the world that would hate getting that card, right? It's going to make somebody's holiday full of joy, for sure. And I don't know about you, but I get 1,000 Christmas cards with just a picture of a family and Merry Christmas on it. This is special. And you can still put a picture of your family inside. That's what I usually do, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull them all out here so that you can see them. This card and this card were today's cards, okay? And these cards and these cards were yesterday's cards. This is how many cards you can make, plus more, with the card kit to go from this week. So super fun. The link will be in the description. I don't know if it'll still work. I'm sure it'll work eventually. But if you're interested in this class too, I can also send you a link through. I don't know why it works through private message and not. How does that bow fit in the envelope? Which one are you talking about, Tony? This one? This one right here? It'll fit, but I'm going to give you another little tip. Tip of the day, okay? My tip of the day is that oftentimes when I am sending cards in the mail, I will take a one of these old, here, let me go back to my hands. Um, One of these old invite cards, or just a piece of basic white, okay? And I just put it on top, and it helps everything to lay a little flatter. There's a bump. There's definitely a bump. I mean, it's going to cost you a little extra in postage, right? Or just throw it in a basket with some some gifts inside or some goodies. You can do that and not even worry about mailing it and the envelope at all. But you can mail that. It fits inside. There's a little bump right here. But that card on top or a piece of basic white or something on top kind of helps just hold it all flat for us there. Okay? All right. Good question, Tony. Thank you. All right. So I will see you next week. Jim and I are going to a wedding this weekend in California, in the Burbank area of California. So if you live there, shoot us some names of some restaurants and good places to eat around there. It's going to be a beautiful wedding in an outdoor venue, and Jim is marrying the couple, and they are flying us out there to join them on their special day. So I will be gone at the end of the week. I will pop in as needed, and feel free to ask me questions as they come up. Please give me a thumbs up and some love. Share me out to your friends, and I hope all of you have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.